So you've got a side hustle and you want to figure out a way to make it work, to fit it in around everything else that you've got going on in life. Your full-time job, the kids, the family, whatever else it is that you've got going on. How do you squeeze it in? My name is Haya, and for those of you who are new to our tribe, I work with high-achieving women and help them step into their purpose and their power without sacrificing their family, their soul, and their sanity. Today, we're going to talk about 8 time management tips to help you grow your side hustle. And I can tell you this is something that I lived and breathed firsthand. As I was working a full-time job, I was commuting 2 hours a day back and forth to work. I was in graduate school at night and on the weekends. And in the middle of all of that, I started my very own first side hustle. And I can tell you that I flopped at this, I failed, I totally did everything wrong. Talk about massive self-sabotage for several months until I finally got sick of myself. You know, setting goals and missing goals, setting goals and missing goals, setting goals and missing goals over and over again. And it wasn't working for me. I was pulling my hair out. I was going crazy and something had to change. So I'm going to share with you today the 8 tips that completely turned my business and my life around, allowed me to replace my full-time job, to multiply my income from my side hustle, make it my main source of income, and completely exponentially increased my income, my quality of life, and changed my world. So I'm going to share these with you today. Let's jump in. Tip number 1. I want you to take a calendar, like where you can see your whole week on one sheet of paper, and I want you to first block out all the times that are not yours. Block out the times that belong to your boss, to your day job. Your full-time job, you're gonna block out those hours that belong to somebody else, okay? So if you work a 40-hour week job, you're gonna X those out with a big black marker. Those are no longer your hours. Your job, your boss, your company, they have purchased, they have rented those hours from you, and they are not your own. So they're not even on the list of possibilities of when you can work your job. That's number 1. Number 2, you're also gonna block out the hours that represent all of your other priorities. So all the other things that are important to you, you're gonna block out time for those to make sure that they don't get lost or sacrificed on the altar of progress. Maybe it's your kids or your spouse or exercise or anything else that's super important to you, your faith, whatever that is, that you're gonna block it out and make sure you've got time for that on your schedule. Again, you're starting at the end and you're working your way backwards. So, you don't have the time when you're working your job and you don't have the time to invest when you're with your other priorities. You want to get very clear on what times you can't work. That way we're going to start to whittle in on when you can. Number 3, now we're going to analyze. I want you to look at the time that's left over and ask yourself, is there enough time in there to build your business successfully? If so, great. Move on to step number 4. If not, we got to get real. Something's gonna have to give here. If there is not enough time left in the white space on your calendar after you've marked off all the time that you're working your full-time job and all the time that you're focused on your priorities, if there's not enough time left to build your side hustle, how's it gonna work? If it's not gonna work on paper, in theory, then it's certainly never gonna work in reality. So what that means we've got to do is we've got to go back and start rehashing through our priorities. And we have to look at what are some things that maybe are going to have to go. Short-term sacrifice for long-term gain. What can you give up right now in the short term to really focus, block everything else out, and allow yourself to reposition your life? You're going to have to get real clear with yourself. What are those priorities? And side note, not everything can be a priority. What's gonna have to go? All right, once you've figured out what you're gonna have to nix and make sure that you've got time for your day job, your utmost priorities, you've got that locked in, now we can move on to number 4. Once we know the times that we want to work our business, we've blocked the times out into our schedule. We're gonna stick to that schedule literally like it is our life support, like it's our lifeblood. I cannot tell you the number of times I made this gorgeous schedule for myself when, again, I was working a full-time job and I was trying to build my side hustle. And I said to myself, I work on Tuesdays and Fridays. I hold appointments on Tuesdays and Fridays. And this is what I was going to do. And then I would flake out week after week after week. Or if I was going to do paperwork on Thursdays or, clean up after myself on Sunday afternoons, whatever that was going to look like, I had it on paper and then I didn't follow through. I would get an invitation to go to lunch with friends, or there would be a great rerun coming on TV, or I wanted to, binge on Netflix or whatever. And I would not stick to my plan. Y'all, that is suicide for your business. You've got to stick to that plan like life support. But why is that so important? Here's what I can tell you. Let me give you an example from my own life and from, I am not even joking, the hundreds and hundreds of women that I have coached through this exact same situation. So let's say that, again, let's use my example of I hold appointments on Tuesdays and Fridays. So come Tuesday, and I'm thinking, well, I would hold an appointment if I had one, but I didn't get any appointments scheduled. So I guess I'm just gonna watch a little bit of Netflix and, hopefully by next week I'll have an appointment. Y'all, it's the kiss of death. If you get around to the time that you had scheduled to hold an appointment or work your business and you don't have anything scheduled yet, for Pete's sake, use that time to actually book the appointments. The worst thing you can do is just chunk the whole thing and do nothing in that block of time. You keep your commitment to yourself and you work, you get on the phone or you get on email or you start texting or you do whatever it takes to shuffle up some business so that come the next time that you're going to be holding appointments, you've got all of those time slots filled. Make sense? Okay, let's keep moving. Number 5, identify the 3 biggest IPAs in your side hustle. Identify the 3 biggest IPAs in your side hustle. What does IPA stand for? Income producing activity. So you want to really get clear on what are the 3 biggest things that are going to move you forward in your business. Maybe it's sales calls, or maybe it's face-to-face appointments, or maybe it's Zoom meetings or consultations. Whatever are the things that are going to move you forward and bring you the strongest results to bring you new business and more business. You want to make darn sure that you have got time for those, priority time for those, blocked out within your work time. So let's go back to my example. Let's say I'm holding appointments or I'm working my business on Tuesdays and Fridays and Sundays. So then if I know Tuesday, Fridays, and Sundays, I want to make sure that I don't get slipped in and sucked into busy work. It's so easy just to feel busy, but we're not actually being productive. We can say, yeah, I'm working, but I'm not working on the things that are moving me forward. I'm getting stuck into maintenance activities or energy sucking activities or the easy activities instead of holding myself accountable to those IPAs. Sometimes the IPAs are the most uncomfortable, but that's because there's fear involved, but those are gonna be the things that move you forward. So once you identify those IPAs, you've gotta make darn sure that those take priority focus within your weekly schedule. All right, number 6. You want to make sure that you also have time scheduled in for the maintenance activities, the cleanup activities, and also learning time. Okay, no business can run in a long-term sustainable way without these activities. Maintenance, cleanup, and knowledge, learning, making sure that you're progressing forward and you're up-leveling yourself and upskilling yourself with what you need to succeed in your business. So I'm not saying that you never need to do it because you won't be successful, you won't be able to run in a long haul without it. However, you want to make sure it doesn't take the place of your IPA time. So the rule of thumb here is that we want to maximize our IPA time. We want to minimize the ESA time, and we want to allow sufficient time for strategy. So let me recap that. Maximize our IPA time, which is our income producing activities. Minimize the ESA time, the energy sucking activities, the paperwork, the maintenance, the cleanup, that kind of stuff. And then we want to allow sufficient time for strategy. And strategy is the planning of your business that's going to allow you to move forward in the most efficient and effective way. All right, number 7, weekly review. Once per week, you're going to analyze and adjust. You're going to review and reposition. What does it mean? Well, you're going to analyze what went well. In this past week, What went well? What did I learn? What am I proud of? What didn't go well? What was a total flop and a bomb? What do I need to fix, tweak, change, overhaul? Okay, again, analyze and adjust, review and reposition. So that is the exercise that you're going to walk through once a week to make sure that you're not getting completely off track throughout the course of the month or the season of building your business. But every single week, you're going to stop and review and tweak the little things that need to be tweaked so that you can stay on track. And then last but not least, number 8, implement and repeat. So whatever are the little tweaks that you figured out in number 7, you want to implement those immediately for the coming new week and then start all over again with numbers 1 through 8 of these time management tricks for building your side hustle. Y'all, it really is just that simple. Now understand, simple, I said simple, not easy. Okay, simple means not complex. Easy means, anybody could do it. Everybody is doing it. Well, now, could anybody do it? Yes. Is everyone doing it? No. Why? Because it requires you to be focused. It requires self-discipline. It requires holding yourself accountable. But I can promise you, if you will be willing to follow these tips for a couple of years like most people won't do, you can live the rest of your life like most people cannot do. Check it out. Let me know how it goes for you. Send me your feedback, and I'll see you right back here next time on Digging Deeper Real Talk. Bye for now.